Hi everyone, it's Michelle here and welcome to my channel, Older Women Rock. If you've never been to my channel before, there's a subscribe button down below this video. Hit that button, the subscribe button, and give me a like, and there's a bell there also for weekly notifications of my videos. Sometimes I do 2 a week, it depends. So what is Older Women Rock about? It's about fashion, styling, makeup, beauty, hair. As we're growing older, it's for women over 50, over 55, 60 and onwards. And we're growing old gracefully, but we're rocking as we do it. So if that's you, jump on board. Okay, ladies, today I want to chat about dress styles, or what I actually refer to as dress cuts. Now, a dressmaker or a pattern maker or a designer would call these cuts in dresses, not necessarily a style, but we'll just call them styles. And I'm going to show you 5 or maybe 6, it depends how much time I have, but of the most popular, most favorite cuts or styles for all women. The first one is the one I have on, and it's a wrap dress. We love wrap dresses. All women love wrap dresses. They've been around since, well, about 1973, 74, because a very, very famous and clever woman designed the wrap dress called Diane von Furstenberg. Now, that's the way I'm pronouncing it, trying to sound a little bit more correct to the authenticity of her name. Well, we all know what wrap dresses do. They wrap around. We put them on over from the back onwards, and they wrap around, and they usually have little slits here in the side to tie up around the waist. They're often made from stretch fabric, as this one is. They're not always made from stretch fabric. A wrap dress can be made from any fabric, but I suppose we always think of Diane von Furstenberg's famous ones, which were always made from a stretch fabric. And most of the ones I own that I wear the most are from stretch jerseys like this, a really good quality stretch jersey. This company is Review, an Australian company, and Review do beautiful quality garments, and they do great wrap dresses. There's quite a lot of companies that almost specialize in wrap dresses, and they're often good quality, those companies that do that, because a wrap dress is a dress that you will wear, well, it's really timeless. They are timeless styles. And I own quite a few in my wardrobe. Most women own quite a few, or own at least one wrap dress. And if you don't, and you're looking for a dress, and you're thinking, oh, I want a dress, just buy a wrap dress. If you're uncertain which style to buy or what to wear, buy a wrap dress. You will never go wrong. They usually have a sleeve, but they don't have to. They can be any length. A maxi can be a wrap dress, so this is not about sleeves, not sleeves. The necklines can vary. They usually go down into a V because of the way they wrap over. They can have a curved edge on the hemline, so there's lots of variations. And of course, we know they can come in block colors or plain colors and prints. And as I said, stretch or non-stretch. So the wrap dress. The wrap dress, why? Why is it so popular? Why do all the women in the world, it is the most sold, most worn, probably the most loved dress in the whole world. But why? Why is that so? It fits every body shape and every body size. That's why. We all look great in a wrap dress. Everyone can wear a wrap dress, and it gives you definition to your body. The wrap dress was designed to give women shape to their body as well, and I'm always talking about that because I think if you want to flatter yourself and show off your curves, you should, because you're going to look really feminine doing that and feel very womanly as well, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. So it's cinched in at the waist. When you do the tying up here and you tie it, it's cinching it in at the waist, and it's giving you definition and a waistline. It's giving you shape to your body. And that's another reason women love the wrap dress, and particularly if it's made from stretch fabric. Well, it's easy to travel with. We don't have to worry about ironing it. I don't iron anything these days. That's the truth. If I have to iron it, I don't buy it. That's why I just like ironing so much, or steaming. Anyway, one of the reasons we love it is when they're made from stretch fabrics like this, they're so easy to wear. They rarely have buttons, they rarely have zips. We just put it on over the back and we wrap it round and put it through the little loops and off we go. It's so easy to put on, and it's a dress that can go from day to night. A wrap dress can be a very classy little number. I think this dress is gorgeous. It's got a few frills around the top, which is great for me because I'm small busted. So if you're pear shaped and you want to add a little bit to the top half of your body, this is great to have a few little frills. I don't wear too many because I'd be swamped in them being petite. So when you're petite, you don't want to be swamped with too many frills, but just a little bit here adds, as I said, to the bust, adding like an illusion that I have more going on up there than I really do. And it's balancing out the bottom as well. It's adding bulk to the top and balancing out the bottom for my pear shaped. But all women, as I said, all shapes and sizes can wear wrap dresses. And that's why it's the most loved, most worn, most popular dress in the whole world. And if I was going to suggest, as I said, that you only buy one dress and put it in your wardrobe, I would suggest it be a wrap dress. Another style that is incredibly popular with women is called a sheath dress. This is a sheath dress that I'm wearing. Sheath dresses are loved for their simplicity. This one, well, they all do it. All sheath dresses have definition to the waist. The way they're cut to emphasize your waistline, and they're usually pretty straight after that. They're not an A-line skirt, and they're not a bodycon where they're very hugging. They're very popular for all women. I think most women can wear a sheath dress. Sometimes they have a sleeve, sometimes they don't. The length varies, but they're commonly worn about on the knee, just above the knee, on the knee, or just below the knee, as this one is. Sheath dresses are just simplistic and they're always classy. They can be work attire as well. Sheath dresses are often used for work attire, but they're one of those dresses, they're just a little bit simplistic and a little bit classy, and they just lend themselves to adding so many different accessories. And once again, they can be a day to night dress. They're not considered super casual. They're not like the beachy casual look, but they're a classy little number. And I always own a couple in my wardrobe for a particular function that I want to go to, or I don't want to dress too evening looking, but I want to just go up a tad from my everyday wear. So sheath dresses are very simplistic. This one has a zip down the back. Now, body shapes. Who would suit a sheath dress? Once again, most women, except I would say pear-shaped women. If you're extremely pear-shaped, they're probably going to grab too much on your thighs. I've actually let this dress out. I bought this recently at one of my thrift stores. I'm on my thrift store hauls, and I've actually let the seams out a little bit. It was a little bit hugging across the tummy and on my thighs, and had just enough room to let this one out because I am a little bit pear-shaped. I'm only moderately pear-shaped, but if you're quite pear-shaped, this style might not flatter you. And I suppose also if you have a large bust, perhaps if you have a large bust, because sheath dresses aren't always out of stretch fabrics. They can be made from really good quality gabardines or drills, cotton drills, or any drill fabric, and they can have some stretch in them, but generally speaking they don't. So they just skim over the body. They're not super hugging, but they hug quite a bit, but particularly emphasizing the waist. Sheath dresses can have a variety of necklines. They usually have a V or just a scooped out neckline, but the neckline isn't the thing that defines the dress, it's the cut of the dress. If I could show you patterns of these dresses, I think you would understand more by the way they're cut. Emphasizes the waist and coming down into not quite a pencil skirt, but pretty close to a pencil skirt if you like. Sheath dresses, classy little numbers. This style is Empire Line. I think Empire Line's probably my second favorite dress style. One of the reasons I love it so much is I don't have to worry about my tummy in an Empire Line. It probably doesn't emphasize the waist as much as some of the other styles, but I always find it really forgiving if I want to eat food or I'm having one of those days where I'm bloated. And I think a lot of women love Empire Lines. They're fitted at the bust. That's one of the signs of an Empire Line. Fitted across the bust sits. It doesn't sit just under the bust as most women think, although it can. It usually sits somewhere below the bust and above the waist. Now, that's if you know where your waist is. Your waist is not where your belly button is, by the way. A lot of women think that's their waist, where their belly button. Your waist is here. If you want to know your waist, get a tape measure and wrap it around, and that will be your waist at the narrowest part. Your waist is not exactly on your belly button. A lot of women think that. This one is an Empire Line. It's probably a little bit of a lower sitting Empire Line than some of them, but it is above my waist. So it's fitted up the top, and they're very often gathered. They're not always excessively gathered, sometimes a little bit of ruching and just a seam. They always have a seam there to distinguish the top from the bottom, because the top is fitted and the bottom is not so much. It can be A-line or more flary or less flary, but it will still be an Empire Line if it's sitting somewhere between under your bust and above your waist. This one just ties at the back. It's pretty cute. A bit of a boho looking one, this one, but I love this dress. It's rayon, it's so comfortable. But Empire Line dresses come in stretch fabrics. They can have a sleeve, not have a sleeve. They can be a maxi, they can be a mini. It's not about the length, it's not about the sleeve, and it's not even about the neckline. This one's got a square neckline and it's a strap dress. It's about the bodice. It's about where the bodice sits. It doesn't sit on the waist. That's where the bodice sits, below the bust and above the waist. Empire. I think a lot of women love Empire dresses. They're very easy to wear, particularly for day wear and casual wear. This dress is known these days as a skater dress. You might know it more as a party dress, or probably seen it sometimes just as a day dress. It's cinched at the waist. It's fitted at the bodice and it flares out from the waist. Sometimes it's cut in a circular way, so it's actually circular and doesn't have pleating or gathers in the waist. This one has some slight gathers. This is more evening style. This style dress would not suit all women, but most women. I think that if you're quite pear-shaped, this might be one style to stay away from. I wear this style quite often because I love any dress that cinches in at the waist. I love to emphasize my waist, and if you have a waist, I encourage most women to do that because it does give you more style and, well, it's just more flattering to your figure. So this little dress would be like a party skater dress. But you can have, of course, casual everyday dresses with this style. So really, what defines this style is fitted at the top, cinched it at the waist, flaring out at the bottom. But for mature women, we don't want it too flary on the bottom unless you're tall. If you're tall, you can get away with wearing a lot more fabric on the bottom. It's much more forgiving. This dress would probably show off or showcase a great pair of legs, which I don't have. You can wear this dress any length. It can be worn as a mini. You would have to be a little bit cautious of that as a mature lady, because if you wore a dress like this short, it could be, well, make you look a little bit like it's too young for you. So when you're looking online, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, when you're looking online for a dress to buy, quite often they'll have the options that you have. The filter will say, which options do you want there? You can choose your color and your size and sometimes your fabric and your style of dress, depending on whether it be a day dress, evening wear, casual, beach wear, but quite often they have the cut or the style of the dress named. They'll have empire dress, wrap dress, skater dress. Today, a dress like this that you see online will probably be put under the category of a skater dress. Now, when I was younger, we didn't have what they were called skater dresses. We simply called this a waisted dress because it sat on the waist, and sometimes we referred to it as a party dress because it was commonly worn out to parties, well, probably more so for younger women. But today it's called a skater dress. If you're online looking for this style of dress, have a look under skater dresses, and they're not, it's an unfortunate term because it sort of indicates it's for a young girl, and young women love them when they're not this style though, when they're cut more on the circle without the pleats or any gathering in the front like this. So I'll just show you a casual version of this dress as well to let you know that it does come in casual, but it also can be evening, and I do think it would flatter a lot of body shapes, but not all body shapes, particularly if you're quite pear-shaped. You might want to stay away from this one with the gathering and the bulk on the bottom like this, only if it's moderately like this. Again, I have a skater dress on. This is an everyday casual skater dress. This one comes in at the waist. This one comes in at the waist. It has some shirring across the back, and it has a little bit of a full skirt, but it's not too full. So as I said, skater dresses can be everyday casual wear for a little simple day dress, or they can go to evening as well. I don't wear this dress very often. I bought it on a whim, and when I got it home, as comfortable as it is, I felt it was a little bit young for me. And I think as mature women, this is one style we have to be a little bit wary of. If you've got fantastic legs, as I said, these dresses look great, but they do emphasize the waist, and that's a plus as well. This style's a slip dress. I've done a video on slip dresses because I just love them. They are one of my favorites because they have no buttons, they have no zips, they go straight over the head and off you go. They always have straps. The neckline can be round, it can be V. This one is an A-line slip dress. It doesn't mean it's not a slip dress if it goes out a little bit. This is A-line because I'm pear-shaped, so I don't mind a little bit of help there. A lot of slip dresses are not. They're more straight up and down, and they'll have splits up the side or even up the front. They can be made from satin or absolutely any fabric possible, even a stretch fabric. But I think the sign that you know that you've got yourself a slip dress is when there's no buttons and no zips, and it goes straight over the head and has thin straps. Because what it is, the style is taken from an undergarment, from a slip, an undergarment. And that's what it's taken from. And it doesn't look like it's actually an undergarment the way we wear them today, but the style is taken from an undergarment. Slip dresses for summer, and you can wear lots of little jackets and cool jackets. They really do suit the beachy casual look and the boho look, but a slip dress can be worn out of a night as well. They can be a little bit of a sexy number, a slip dress. So I like them a lot, and I think a lot of women love slip dresses because they're just so easy, and they're fantastic for holidays and vacations. If you're going to a hot climate and you just want a little dress to throw over and off you go with your sandals, there's nothing like a slip dress for that. So I think we love slip dresses. I said I was going to show you 5 or 6. I've just got one more. I'm going to show you one more style now that I think a lot of women like. This style is a shift dress. The 1960s shift dress, and even in the 1950s, must have been the late 50s, I'm not sure, because if we think about Jackie O, she wore quite a lot of shift dresses. Now Jackie O had a very athletic, very slim but athletic body. She wasn't very curvy, but she really looked fabulous in those shift dresses, and hers did have more darts in them and were a little bit more fitted, I think. Now then there was Twiggy and Jean Shrimpton. Remember the famous models? How could we ever forget Twiggy? Wasn't she gorgeous? She still a gorgeous woman. Well, she wore a lot of shift dresses, but of course those shift dresses that they wore usually were sleeveless, and they went with that mod look. Remember the mod look with the high boots and the mini skirts here out of really crazy psychedelic colors? Wasn't that a great fashion era? That was so much fun. I was only a little girl when that was happening, but I remember watching my sisters and some of my cousins and so forth all dress up to go out, and I couldn't wait to grow up and wear the mod look with the big plastic chunky earrings in oranges and pinks, and Mary Quant was happening. Well, by the time I got to grow up and go out, that was all out of fashion. So shift dresses were really big back then, and they did wear them a little bit more fitted than this one is on me. But one of the things that they did was they definitely showcased their legs. It was about that, I think, with the shift dress. Plus they had that kind of simplistic look, but they weren't baggy or saggy. They really had something, the old shift dress. So they're still happening. Women still love them. A lot of women, it's their favorite dress. I know lots of women that adore shift dresses. I know that for a fact because I sold this dress. I was doing a lot of selling, and this was one of my best selling dresses. Women loved it because it was no fuss, no bother. This one has no buttons or zips. It is over the head, but a shift dress can have a scooped neck. They did often have a scooped neck, and even one that sat out a little bit toward the shoulders, but it can have a V as well, so that it's not about the neckline, and it can be sleeveless or it can have a sleeve. I think a t-shirt dress really is a shift dress as well. I think the whole thing about a shift dress is they're pretty straight up and down. They can be a little bit A-line, but usually they're pretty straight up and down, and they're not incredibly figure hugging. Usually you can't have a shift dress because then it would have lots of panels and so forth through it, and they might have a few panels in a shift dress, but generally they don't. And that's the whole idea. I mean, if you wanted to give them definition and give them shape, well, you add a belt. So I showed you 5 styles today. Tell me, which one is your favorite? Which dress do you tend to wear the most? Which are your 2 top faves in the styles that I showed you? Do you like the shift dress? I don't know. I've never really been a big fan of wearing it because it doesn't really flatter me, but do you like the shift dress? Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed my video because I've enjoyed making it, and don't forget to give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe, and see you later. Bye bye now.